The joint vision indicates the remarkable synergy between Oman Vision 2040 and India's development goals under Amrit Kaal, and emphasizes their commitment to harnessing these complementarities to deepen their partnership. This came in the joint statement between the Sultanate of Oman and the Republic of India on the occasion of a state visit by His Majesty Sultan Haitham bin Tariq to the Republic of India as follows. In response to the kind invitation of Her Excellency Draupadi Murmu, President of the Republic of India, His Majesty Sultan Haitham bin Tariq, Sultan of Oman, made his state visit to India. The official reception of His Majesty Sultan Haitham bin Tariq took place in Rashtrapati Bhawan Square in New Delhi, and Her Excellency Draupadi Murmu, President of the Friendly Republic of India, hosted a banquet in honor of His Majesty. This visit is of a special importance as it is the first visit of the Sultan of Oman to India in more than 25 years, since the visit of late Sultan Qaboos bin Said in 1997. His Majesty's visit comes after the visit of His Excellency Narendra Modi, Prime Minister of India, to the Sultanate of Oman in February 2018. His Majesty the Sultan and the Prime Minister held closed consultations followed by delegation-level talks on December 16, 2023, where the meetings were characterized by great warmth and friendliness, and the two leaders expressed their satisfactions with the distinguished level of bilateral relations that have stood the test of time and developed into a strong and lasting partnership based on historical ties and trust, respect and common interest. The two leaders noted with satisfaction that continuous exchange of high-level visit which helped achieve progress in various areas of cooperation. The two leaders also discussed all aspects of bilateral cooperation, including political and security cooperation, defense, trade, energy security and renewable energy, healthcare, education, culture. His Majesty the Sultan expressed his appreciation to India for extending the invitation to the Sultanate of Oman to participate in the G20 meetings as a special guest. He also expressed his appreciation to India for the successful organization of the G20 summit and 2 editions of the Global South Voice Summit, stressing India's role in facilitating a platform for global cooperation and discussions on important international issues. His Majesty praised India and Prime Minister Modi for the remarkable achievement of India's G20 presidency in bringing together countries with diverse visions and priorities to reach the adoption of the historic New Delhi Leaders' Declaration. The joint vision indicates the remarkable synergy between the Oman Vision 2040 and India's development goals under Amrit Kaal, stressing their commitment to harnessing these complementarities to deepen the partnership between the Sultanate of Oman and India. A group of areas were identified in the vision, such as maritime cooperation and communication, energy security and green energy, space technologies and applications, digital payments and financial cooperation, trade and investment, health, tourism and hospitality, information technology and innovation. In addition to agriculture and food security, with specific action points as part of the future roadmap to deepen ties between the two countries for implementation. The two leaders expressed their confidence that the joint vision document will serve as a roadmap to enhance bilateral cooperation in various fields and will lead the Omani-Indian partnership to new horizons. The two leaders noted with satisfaction the remarkable growth in bilateral trade as the volume of trade exchange has doubled from $5.4 billion in 2020 and 2021 to $12.3 billion in 2022 to 2023. The two leaders appreciated the negotiations that had begun to enter into a comprehensive economic partnership agreement between the Sultanate of Oman and India, which had achieved great progress. They agreed to continue to work closely to accelerate and conclude negotiations, and the agreement has the potential to harness this partnership and achieve a higher growth path in line with the enormous potential of the close historical bilateral relations. The two leaders also expressed their appreciation for the announcement of the third batch of the Oman-India Joint Investment Fund and its potential to stimulate investments from the Sultanate of Oman and the Gulf region in the fastest growing sectors of the Indian economy. The two leaders welcomed the continued deepening of defense cooperation between them, stressing the need to enhance mutual interactions in this field. The two leaders agreed to expand cooperation in the field of space and expressed their appreciation for the recent bilateral interactions in this sector. They acknowledged the broad potential for cooperation in multiple fields, including remote sensing, satellite launches, communications and practical applications of space technology, stressing on the common interest between the Sultanate of Oman and India in these areas. The two sides discussed cooperation in the field of civil aviation and air communication, where the Omani side expressed its interest in joint work to improve airspace management and the air traffic management system for the mutual benefit, and the Indian side expressed its readiness to continue the ongoing discussions between the civil aviation authorities of the two sides in order to find a cooperative way to move forward. The two leaders stressed the importance of cooperation in the field of health and expressed their commitment to strengthening bilateral cooperation in this important sector. They also highlighted the potential for companies to explore future partnership with their counterparts in the manufacture of generic medicines. The two leaders discussed the possibility of the Sultanate of Oman becoming a major center for Ayurveda in the Middle East, given the growing popularity of the traditional Indian medical system in the region. The two sides also stressed that the relations between the both peoples extend for centuries and represent fundamental pillars of the historical relationship between them. The Indian side expressed its appreciation to the Omani side for its excellent care for the large Indian community, which exceeds 700,000 residents. The Omani side expressed its gratitude to expatriate Indian community, stressing its continued and valuable contributions to the Omani society and economy. The two sides committed to enhancing cultural cooperation by signing a memorandum of understanding in the cultural field. This memorandum will promote increased cooperation in cultural activities, including the participation of artistic performances, exhibitions, and cultural events. During the visit, a joint commemorative postage stamp was issued, symbolizing the long-standing cultural and popular relationship between the two countries. The joint postage stamp depicts traditional folk dances, showcasing the brilliance of the two countries' cultural heritage, and will be appreciated by the stamp and art enthusiasts in both countries. The two leaders pointed to the long history of maritime trade between India and Oman, which enabled the exchange of goods and ideas over thousands of years. They pointed out the important role played by sailing ships in facilitating trade and cultural exchanges, which contributed to a long and rich history of interaction between the Indian subcontinent and the Arabian Peninsula, especially the Sultanate of Oman. The two leaders expressed their appreciation for the Indian Ministry of Culture's proposal to reoperate a sea voyage for an Indian handicraft ship made with traditional techniques in India, and the voyage is planned from Mandavi port in Gujarat to Muscat during the years 2025 or 2026, followed by another voyage in other regions. The two leaders agreed that this trip will focus on the historical ties between India and Oman, which will boost and strengthen of trust in the relations between the two peoples and countries. The two sides also expressed their commitment to boost tourism cooperation, sharing best practices in sustainable tourism and examining the possibilities of increasing tourist flows between the two countries. The two leaders condemned terrorism in all its forms and stressed their commitment to strengthening cooperation to emphasize the importance of promoting the universal values of peace, justice, coexistence and tolerance, while stressing the need to abandon all forms of extremism that lead to violence, hate speech, discrimination and incitement. The two leaders also discussed regional and international issues of common concern, and both sides expressed their strong commitment to supporting efforts and promote peace and stability in the world and in the region. The two leaders also discussed regional and international issues of common concern, and both sides expressed their strong commitment to supporting efforts and that promote peace and stability in the region and in the world. The two countries stressed the need for all countries to adhere to international law, respect sovereignty and territorial integrity, not to intervene or interfere in the internal affairs of other countries, and resolve disputes peacefully through dialogue and diplomatic solutions. The following agreements and memorandums of understanding were signed and exchanged during the visit. Memorandum of Understanding between the Minister of Culture, Sports and Youth of the Sultanate of Oman and the Minister of Culture of the Republic of India in the field of culture. A Memorandum of Understanding between the Ministry of Transport, Communications and Information Technology in the Sultanate of Oman and the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology in the Republic of India in the field of information technology. Memorandum of Understanding between the National Center for Financial Information and the Financial Information Unit in cooperation in the exchange of information related to money laundering, associated primary crimes and financing of terrorism. Agreement between the Government of the Sultanate of Oman and the Government of the Republic of India regarding the beneficial employment of persons accompanying public employees. Memorandum of Understanding between the Fire University and the Indian Cultural Relations Council on establishing the Indian Cultural Relations Council Chair for Indian Studies, Hindi language. Main provisions for establishing the third Omani-India joint fund between the Oman Investment Authority and the State Bank of India. The two leaders expressed their confidence in the broad scope for further develop bilateral relations, and His Majesty Sultan Haitham bin Tariq extended his thanks and appreciation to Prime Minister Narendra Modi for the warm hospitality of the Indian government and people, and His Majesty extended an invitation to the Prime Minister of India to visit the Sultanate of Oman.